Hi, and welcome to Something to Talk About. I'm Linda McNamee, and as you saw from our introduction, our topic tonight is Help Me Help Someone. So what exactly does that mean? Well, you'll find out real soon. But before we begin, as always, I need a few little housekeeping rules. I would like to invite you to email me anytime at talk@bcattv.org if you have a suggestion for a future topic, or if you have a question for my wonderful guests, whom you will meet momentarily, but didn't have the chance to ask. You can ask them later, and I can make sure to get that information to them. I would like to thank the crew for this evening. Christina Nikitas is on camera, so thank you, Christina. And we have Evan Peckham and Evan McNamee, who have also given up their Wednesday evenings to come hang out at BCAT. So I want to thank the three of them. Last but definitely, not last, I would also like to thank Chris Flaherty and John Vias, who are staff members here, making sure us volunteers get everything off without a hitch. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, John. And now, last but not least, I would like to thank my husband, Paul, for staying home for Daddy Date Night, even though Daddy Date Night does not mean the same now that it did when the show first started, but he's still home, still keeping the castle safe, so thank you. So now, all housekeeping aside, I would like to introduce my wonderful guests. Some you may know. Joyce Delianis, who is the founder and president of Helpis. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Okay. Kate Tree-Munn?
Yes.
Okay, who is a board member
Yes, I
on
am.
Helpis, and Chris Warren, who is an advisory committee member for Helpis. So I definitely want to thank all three of you, and a little bit later on, we will be joined by another board member, Lori Glantz, who is also here to help spread kindness.
Yes.
So, all right, well, thank you guys all for coming. Before we really get into the organization itself, can you guys each give us a little bit background on you, where you grew up, how you came to Burlington, and I know your story is different, but how the two of you became involved in Helpis, because I do want to hear how you started Helpis.
Okay. Well, we're thrilled and honored to be here to talk about Helpis organization based in the town of Burlington, and how we connect kindness and how kindness has spread and like fire.
Yes.
And it continues and it will continue. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, thank you for joining me. So when and how did you get to Burlington? Just real quick, 10-cent tour.
We came to Burlington 30 years ago.
Okay.
I am from Greece originally, the island of Crete. I am married to Stelios, my husband, and we have two daughters, Anna and Christina, who they attended the schools
Great.
in Burlington. And
You've been here ever since.
we've been here ever since, and we love every minute of it.
Yay, me too.
One
Kate.
thing, quickly, I want to say
Oh,
that
yeah.
the town has been so welcoming to me and my family. My daughters got many honors in the schools,
Excellent.
where it helped them to continue the education, further the education, and I'm very grateful for that. And
Excellent.
yes,
Thank
it's a
you.
beautiful town.
Okay,
beautiful
we will
people.
hear more about your story momentarily, but I would
Okay.
like to hear a little bit more about Kate.
Absolutely. So I moved to Burlington in 2015
Okay.
with my husband and my 4 children. I have 3 daughters who are now young adults, and my youngest is a freshman at Burlington High,
Oh,
my
great.
son. Yep, he's loving football and orchestra. And
Hopefully not at the same time.
at the same time. I don't get it, but he loves it. So, and I am a social worker. I work with young people in foster care, and that was how I actually met Joyce and learned about Helpis. Is that I had 2 little girls who were placed in a residential program from a foster home, and everyone was arguing over who was responsible for their clothing. And it was November, and their pants were up to here, and they were cold, and doesn't feel good to not have clothes that fit. So I posted on one of the Facebook pages, and Joyce answered and said, I'll have everything for you in 3 days. And as a social worker, with the paperwork that we get and everything else, I was like, yeah, okay. And she met me 3 days later with a bag
Wow.
full of beautiful, brand new coats, winter boots, clothing that fit. You know, she asked what color the girls liked, and I was hooked. So here I am.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And Chris, how'd you get involved in the whole kit and caboodle?
Well, I was working at the Burlington Union, Wicked Local Burlington, and a colleague Joanna Juvelis had asked me to meet Joyce. This was probably in 2011 or 2012, and we did our first article together. And I remember, Joyce telling me about wanting to have the state of Massachusetts have the month May as the month of kindness, and then eventually the country. And at the time, I said something to her like, "From one dreamer to another, do you realize this might be the impossible dream?" And she said, "Oh yes, I do." And she said, "I figure if I'm going to dream, I'm going to dream really big."
Yes, go big or go home. Yeah.
And so we met then, and we would see each other from time to time. When Joyce and I, Joyce and I really started to talk a lot. It was during the time of, I think it was October 2013. There was a big fire at Lord Byron.
Oh,
October 23rd, it was my birthday that day.
Was it your birthday that day?
When I
what
got
day
in touch
was it?
with you. Yes.
October what?
October 23rd.
October 23rd. So, it takes a while for the government to, it happened at night. I don't remember what day of the week it happened, but someone made a call to Joyce that let her know that there were people in town that were homeless. They did not have anywhere to go. They were living in their cars, or they were like hiding in stairwells of churches in town and so forth. So, and again, Burlington, the town of Burlington, really ramped up, but needed some time. It took a few weeks. So Joyce arranged for long-term housing at an extended stay for I think for 2 weeks
And then the hotels.
in the hotels, and
5
she
hotels.
puts down the Helpis credit card and puts down $20,000. And I thought, I have never met anyone who has that much faith in people.
Wow.
And
I was thinking that one of credit. But.
Sight unseen. Never had met even one of those people. And then made sure that everybody got a ride to their extended stay. And then a lot of people got involved. Sophia Skopetos, is that
Skopetos.
Skopetos?
Yeah.
Is a board member, and she has the Sophia's Greek and Balkan pantry.
No, Greek pantry.
Greek pantry? No Balkan? Okay. And she was providing hot meals once a day for all the people that were being housed. So a person had to go to her store in Watertown or Belmont, I forget
Oh, wow.
which,
Okay.
and go get everything, and it was served family style in a community room. And then a lot of people, I remember all over town, people donated clothes. And they dropped them off at the schools, and then there were people from the UCC church who came and sorted them all out by size. And then Burlington Youth and Family Services let us use part of their location to allow people to come in and pick what they needed, because with the fire, everything smelled like smoke, so there really wasn't anything anyone could salvage. And then Youth and Family Services got very involved, but again, it takes government a little. Yes, and so this was within 24 hours, and I just was so impressed by that.
That's great.
And so that's how, Joyce and I have been friends.
You're like, I gotta do this.
Yes, it's very unusual to meet somebody who has that capacity to give.
Okay. Well, thank you. Wow, we have a lot to talk about.
I love it.
So how long has Helpis been around? Because you are a hairstylist at a salon, and you started giving people in need free haircuts.
Right.
To help them get back on their feet and
Correct.
be presentable at interviews and everything. So how long had you been doing that before Helpis was a reality?
From 2009, and then Helpis came reality 2011, and it started it from the chair, and it continues to connect from the chair because these are the most incredible resources, and that's what I saw when the economy 2009 went south. I received a lot of phone calls from clients that I've been doing it for years, and what am I going to do if I lose my job? How am I going to pay for my haircuts or my color? How am I going to go for a job interview? And these were all professional women, and I say women because women express themselves, men don't.
Right.
And so I said, so what are we going to do? We're going to sit there and do nothing about it? Immediately I decided that I'm going to do something about it. I look in my chair and I says, I have the resources right in front of me. I started giving free service to the unemployed in 2009, every Monday on my day off. And that became, how would I know that my work, my skill will become a major from then to today to connect, because that is like the bait, as I say,
Right.
to attract people, so then I can help them more. My pain clients, when they find out, they came to help, and they say, how can we help?
Oh, wow.
So they started helping. Companies found out about it very quickly. Oracle, Fidelity. They said, how can we help? Now I said, oh my God, there's so much good. There's so many good people, and we don't hear anything
Just need
about them.
somebody to
There's so
focus
much
it.
good that is happening that we don't hear anything about it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to collect all the good people. I'm going to make my own good news, and I'm going to make a law to honor the good people, a law that doesn't punish, it gets you free. There is not another law anywhere in the world
Right.
that connects.
That's cool.
Not another law that it's worldly. There is not another law that gives a choice to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only law that the whole world shares.
Wow.
And it's the only law that
That's like really profound.
even if you are behind bars, you're free. It gives you the freedom. Because if you bring kindness into wherever you go, no matter where you are,
It's
that is going to
contagious,
give
too.
you the freedom. It's going to make people soften up. It's going to open doors. So then I approached the Congress.
Okay.
I'm going to make a law. And I think I called Congress to ask them, I need your advice. How do I make this happen? And they told me to forget about it. It will never
Yeah, no, that's not
happen
an acceptable answer
in a
for
million
Joyce.
years, especially in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is one of the hardest states to accomplish something
Really?
that difficult.
Okay.
Something that difficult. We have thousands of laws sitting for hundreds of years, and we cannot move them. And I asked, give me one reason why it shouldn't happen. One, this law will give opportunities. It connects, involves everyone. No one feels left out. There is no motive, no agenda, no red tape, no bureaucracy, no politics, no religions, just pure kindness. So why it shouldn't happen? Just tell me what I need to do. And they told me I have to make it into organization.
I'm not leaving here until you tell me.
And they said, and I was advised by one of the congressmen, that you have to make it into an organization or corporation to be able legally to protect
Okay.
yourself, and also by the lawyers. I said, whatever it takes, if that's what I need to do, then that's what I'm going to do. So now I was going to do that law.
Oh,
No matter
great.
what, whatever it takes. I pick up the phone, I call one of the lawyers, local lawyers, start the paperwork. We're going to make this law happen, and the law is, the organization is going to be based on that law,
Okay.
Month of the Kindness Law. And then I was asked, but do you know? I said, I don't have to know everything. I don't know what I don't know, but I'm not afraid to know. I'm looking forward to the unknown.
Okay.
And as long as there are people out there that they know what I don't, then I know. Do you have? I said, I don't have to have everything. I have what I need.
Okay.
But there are other people out there where they're looking for an opportunity to help. And as long as there are people out there that they have what I don't, then I have and I know. And I will not let what I don't know stop me. I'm going to start and I'll learn as I go along. And what I
Excellent.
don't know, I will ask.
So you did get this law passed. When did that happen?
Well, it took 7 years,
Well,
many phone calls to the State
well,
House.
they already told
the
you it couldn't
Senate.
be done, so
Right.
not
The
being able to do
Senate.
something in
So
7
the phone
years
call
is
started
incredible.
it immediately.
Okay.
As soon as it became an organization, it was a phone calls every day of the week.
How do you still have time to?
When you
Do
love
your real
something,
job.
okay, I tell you what. You know what happens? It's when you do what you love,
Yep.
and you don't do anything that you don't like, it doesn't become a chore. You make the time. And
But there is only 24 hours.
yeah,
in
but
a
look what
day.
happens. But check this out. I am working behind the chair, right? Just what I do. I'm connecting. I don't have to move. People move.
Oh.
And you know, that's why I created the card. Help me help someone, with a little hand on it with a ladybug. Every client that sat in my chair that it was employed, I will give the card and I say, help me help someone. That's how the name came about.
Okay.
Any coworker or anyone that you know that they lost a job, give them this card. When they come in with the card, no questions asked.
They get here.
Now, half an hour in the chair, each person, I don't ask questions, but they will tell you their story. I pick up the needs. Then I will somehow figure out the size, and I will get everything they needed. I will make another appointment for the person a few days later. I mean, a week later, and I say, come for a conditioning treatment. Then I have everything. They came,
Because I was wondering how you
so they
get
didn't have
them
to
come
ask.
back.
They didn't have to ask.
Oh, okay.
Dignity is extremely important, and respect. Every person who sat on the chair, I said, if they don't have money, how are they going to go for a job interview? They need gas, right? Every woman that sat on that chair got a gas card and a supermarket card.
Oh, okay.
So if you're hungry, you can't focus.
Yeah.
And so it began from there. 7 years later, and Christine wrote the story. She came to the State House as well.
Oh, wow.
7 years later, I approached the State House. I called a few representatives, and then Mr. Kenneth Gordon, a state rep, sent his secretary, and we met. We got the proclamation ready. We went to the State House, and they said, this is an incredible, beautiful thing, but it will never happen.
They're still saying it won't happen.
Okay, check this out. No one believed it was going to happen to the last day. I was the only one to the last day because it was so difficult,
Yeah.
you know.
But at that
They said
point-
if it doesn't matter the point, it's, you know, they say 1,000 votes is going to kill the whole project forever. Are you kidding me? No, was not a language that in my vocabulary at that time.
I wouldn't want to be on your bad side.
And I so believed it was going to happen, but I was the only one through the whole, from 2009 to 2016, that I believed that it was going to happen. Even surprised, when it happened, actually surprised everyone.
Why May, though?
Okay, that's a great question. May is the only month that it's Mother's Day. It's
Yeah.
Workers' Nurses Week.
Oh.
If you look the month of May and check every day, pretty much every single day has some kind of a celebration. Every single day.
Okay.
May. So all the good that happens all year long, May is spring. Children go to college. So it's a new chapter. New doors open. It's a lot of hope, the month of May.
Okay. You really gave this a lot of thought.
Yes, I did. Yes, yes.
Graduations and proms.
And
She
yes,
mentioned
the
that.
prom. And also, at first it was going to be a day, 2009, a day of kindness. And then I said, if we make it the whole month, a whole month, maybe after years when people get used to it, they get involved, it might become a habit if every single day of the month of May we hear every single day and we apply kindness, it might become a habit. What a beautiful habit.
That is pretty cool.
What a
I'm
beautiful
also
habit.
thinking that if it's so much work and impossible, why just focus on a day? Think big.
Exactly. So it was one day, then we make it a month.
Why not?
And
Same amount of paperwork.
Yes.
also, something I didn't mention, through the time that the economy went really bad and a lot of women and men were losing their jobs, through my connections in the chair, I was able to place through the companies that they came and they will bring me the resume. Check this out. This is beautiful, actually. How,
Wait, you said this was during the pandemic?
not the pandemic, 2009.
2009. Okay.
2,500 women got a job, got placed on a job through the connections that I had in my chair, through the word of mouth. People come and out. Companies
Wow.
will come and they will bring me the resumes, and just what I did. Then, without the people knowing, I will make the appointments and put them together. So one will give the opportunity to the other one. Now, the one who was getting the help, she was specializes on the resumes. She was helping the other one with the resume. Now, none of them feel like a charity case. There is not such a thing as a charity. No one is a charity case. Will Helpis exist if it wasn't for the people that they're helping us? And the people that they need help? Never.
I love it.
Who built Helpis? I mean, what are the bricks that build Helpis? The people we need and the people they helping us.
Neat. Okay, that's a cool story,
Thank you very much.
and I know we will talk more about it.
Okay.
But you have two wonderful helpers, I guess. I don't want to downplay your roles, but I want to hear your stories. So, when you last appeared on the show, it was 2018. How has the organization changed, especially living through the pandemic?
And I also forgot to mention that we have an incredible board, but they were picked like each one unbelievable.
Wow.
And
How big is the board?
Oh, I can take that one, Joan.
okay,
Yeah, so there's well, Kate, Joyce is the founder and president. Kate is a board member. Lori Glantz, who will be joining us later, she's a board member. Fatima Mendonca and Danny Franco are in the studio watching. Sophia, that we mentioned before. Luann Arsenal.
I'm losing count, but
And there might be one or two.
Karen Parker Meyer.
Oh yes, Karen Parker Myers and
Emily.
Emily Trask. You're right. So all of those people.
Now, did they slowly kind of come in over time, or
Nope.
did you just say, hey, we are now an official nonprofit, we need a board of directors, let's go?
What happened, it was from the beginning, you have to have a certain amount of board members and to start the organization. Luann, she was one of the unemployed that came. She lost her 3 jobs, 2 jobs that she was working all her life, and that's how she got involved. Emily, an amazing woman. She does our website and all the anything that we need to write for the paper, press releases.
Okay.
Yes.
So, like the whole
that's what-
marketing.
but she never charged me.
promotions.
She never charged me. And I'm like, this is a message here. This woman is not charging me. I asked for the bill and she didn't. And she joined.
You
So
are leading by example.
every Kathy, we hired her to do the graphic designs.
Yep.
She didn't charge me. And I said, it's a message here. And I asked the question, and
Like, I
Kathy,
see a pattern developing.
an incredible pattern, you know. It's amazing because also I was asked, aren't you afraid? I'm not afraid, by the way, of anything.
Of
You went in
anything.
front of Congress and said, I'm not taking no for an answer. I mean,
But why to afraid? And you know why I'm not afraid?
what have you got to, I don't know, what have you got to lose?
I never
Or-
felt more or less than anybody else. I never felt like I don't belong. And that I never had to worry or compete with anybody, or I was satisfied with myself.
Right.
I had what I needed. And when they ask me, do you have what it takes? I look at myself and I look at the person and says, yep, I got legs, hands, head, and a heart enough to start. So everybody has what it takes. You know, the message was more than anything else that anybody can do anything, any dream you want. Don't let no one and nothing stop you, you know. Start with what you have and what you want to do. If benefits society, don't be afraid. People are going to come. They're going to support you. If it's worldly and it benefits,
That is amazing.
then go for it.
advice.
But it's so true. It is so true. People are
But
afraid.
not everybody sees it that way. So it's
But maybe
incredible
we
that
can
you're able
help.
to pull this together.
But maybe we can help them to see
Yeah.
that you are the opportunity. We are all an opportunity. And the reason that I'm not afraid to go to the Congress, to the State House, because I wasn't going to ask for a favor. I was given an opportunity. I am an opportunity. They are an opportunity. We need each other. So I was not afraid to approach anything and anyone, and I'm not afraid.
I think the other thing that's really kind of magical about our board is that every one of us has different experiences, different skills, and it's a very hands-on board. Helpis does not have a physical space. There is no paid staff. Everything is volunteer. Joyce has more energy than anyone I've ever met.
Everybody put together.
I think the other 8 of us probably have about as much energy as Joyce herself, but it's a wonderful group of women that really support each other and support the community. I know for me, in my work as a social worker, you come home and cry in the car on the way home sometimes. There's so many things that we cannot quickly and easily fix for other people. And what is really fulfilling to me about Helpis is that when you hand someone food or a blanket or a pair of shoes or a piece of medical equipment that they can't function without, you see immediately the change that that brings to someone's life and the opportunities that that presents for them. And so for me, Helpis is sort of how I refill my soul after doing the work that I do every day.
So, one of the, I know it's not in my questions, but listening to you and your story, I'm thinking, how is this sustainable? So if somebody, is it just a one-time, here's a blanket? Well, the blanket isn't always going to put food on the table or give you the opportunity to have that job interview. And even if you do have the interview, there's nothing to guarantee that you'll get the job. So how do you keep people motivated? How do you keep people stable in that environment?
You give them what they need and they get motivated themselves. One lady applied 20 times for the same job, a Leahy clinic. She got it.
Wow.
And then she didn't like it.
Well, yeah, that's a different story. Well, there's probably a reason why
mean,
she didn't get it
well,
19 times.
No,
but-
she applied 19 times, 20 times. She got it. So it's not how they get motivated. We help them, we give them the tools, then we just walk away. But knowing that someone cares, knowing that someone noticed them, and the name, there is not such a thing as unknown. There is no way a human being can be unknown.
Yeah.
If we read in a book and we get influenced by something that we read 50 years ago, 100 years ago, there is no way that person was unknown.
I think the other thing that we do is we really try to target the help that we can give. We do have a very limited budget. We don't receive any government grants, no funding. We have a giant crew of very, very generous donors. And a lot of the businesses in this community have also supported us. But our annual cash budget is relatively small. But by connecting people who have something with some people who need something, we are able to help exponentially more people. And so
And people
you
buy
know,
the items.
some of the most meaningful ones to me are, it's a very common situation where families have worked really hard to get their kids home out of foster care, but kids cannot be reunified until they have a bed. They can't sleep in a sleeping bag or on a couch or on an air mattress. They have to have an actual bed. And more often than you would think, that becomes a barrier to kids going home. And we know that every day they spend in foster care is a tragedy for them. And so if we provide a bed, right, it's a small thing, but it creates a huge change in a family's life. And so I think Helpis is very thoughtful about the help that we are able to give. And the other thing is that it is quick.
Yeah.
As a social worker,
that's amazing.
there's no paperwork. And so you don't have to provide proof of income. We don't ask people to give us their ID or their lease to their apartment or whatever.
It's like honor system.
And it really is.
So it's private.
Yes, it is. And I was going to say too that sometimes there's a wrapping around with other nonprofits and government agencies that can together create a support system.
So it's like a giant
So with-
networking web.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
What happened is from the beginning, because you got to build a foundation. You have to have a solid foundation. Even that it looks scattered, it's not. If it looks like, oh my God, so much, you had an incredible like foundation to protect everyone and be fast, and not to take that excitement away, not to put disappointment or guilt. I don't want
Right.
none of those feelings, and we don't have any of those feelings. We are connected, teachers, social workers, doctors, nurses, Children's Hospital, Mass General Hospital, all the doctors that they help the homeless on the streets, Boston Healthcare for the Homeless, Bridge over Runaway Homeless Teens, shelters in the case managers from, there are 54 shelters in the Boston area, Leahy Clinic, in Lexington, Wellesley.
And attorneys
Boston.
representing indigent clients.
We have 2 attorneys that you can talk about them, because I think it's very important what they helping us with, Wendy and
And
Well-
can I add
Yes,
one quick thing?
absolutely.
too, that
Absolutely.
I also too I believe that Helpis now meets monthly with the Burlington Youth and Family Services and People Helping People.
I think 4 times a year.
Quarterly, yeah.
Quarterly. So that's an example of People Helping People may be able to do some things.
Right.
Burlington Youth and Family Services can do some things.
Well, we've been
and Helpis can do some things.
Yes.
Yes.
helping family youth services for years, since 2000,
Yes.
So kind of like the
11.
sum is, or
and they
the
helping
sum
us.
is greater
I
than
Then we are, the
the
whole
end
is
of
better than the
the whole is
parts.
better
I
than
mean,
the sum of the parts.
yes,
Okay, that's
yeah.
what I was thinking.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But I don't mean to interrupt.
No, please do.
But I know that you guys do have a very full, very rich in experience board and experience and kindness. But it's actually time to do a little bit of rotation.
Okay.
So thank you, Chris, for coming.
Thank you, Linda.
I want to hear more of your story, so we might end up having a sequel at some
And-
point.
With
Well, we're still going, but Chris is
Oh,
gonna.
okay.
We're playing musical chairs,
Mhm.
and Chris is gonna sneak off. And while Lori comes in, we're gonna take a look at a quick little segment of some of the help that you have recently provided as an organization.
oh wow.
So let's.
Talk about the
Cool.
scholarships.
I
okay?
just love the
scholarships
magic
and
of
the exchange
television.
programs.
So welcome, Lori.
Thank you.
Lori Glantz is also a board member at Helpis, and you've actually come up with, I know we mentioned earlier that there is no physical space. Well, you've actually provided a little physical space, your little house of kindness right outside your office.
Right, that's such an amazing thing that it was born out of this idea. I guess it's an occupational hazard, right? Home is like such an important place. And Sandy and I were wondering how we can make donations easier for people to drop off. So with Joyce, we kind of had a little brainstorming session. And again, because of our occupation, we started just to sketch. And what came out of it was this beautiful wooden house that sits right outside of our office. It's the Little House of Kindness, and Joyce named the house. I thought it was just so appropriate. So people can come, it's right next to True North Coffee, it's right outside of our office. They can drop off any donations, and we regularly post donations on our Facebook page.
Okay,
so
so
that's a
it's-
great way for people
you'll,
to
like,
get involved.
Ask, we need
Toothbrushes,
toothbrushes
socks.
or,
Right,
Pajamas.
right.
winter boots. Although hopefully right now we don't need a lot of winter boots because it's actually finally springtime.
Right, and this Valentine's Day, I would find like 500 teddy bears stuffed in the Little House of Kindness, which warms my heart every day. So
I'm trying to figure out how you're supposed to fit 500 teddy bears in that little house all at the same time.
some were really little.
Okay. So, well, while we're talking about teddy bears, and
Yep.
we just saw the segment, how did the teddy bear drive come about?
Well,
And then we'll get on to,
check this out, all right? This is so funny. I love it. I have the video. Lori came to my house Christmas time. I never met Lori.
okay.
And this woman comes dressed as Santa Claus. And I said, oh
Dressed
my
as
God.
Santa Claus?
Well, not
And
the
she
full
brought-
garb, but,
well,
but
she
I
had-
had a Santa
she
hat
had
on.
the
I
Santa
did.
hat
I
and-
did.
Okay, just
And she was so happy. She was so excited to give us. I said, oh my God, I don't know this woman. I love this woman. And then it was Christmas time.
Yep.
It's good, yeah. So then she asked, how can I help? And then I said, Valentine's is coming. Collect teddy bears.
I love it.
Because you give someone something to start small and you let them build it.
Okay.
Build on it. Valentine's was coming,
plant the
teddy
seed.
bears. Right. You see?
Oh, it's going to grow.
Yes. And then before you know it, that teddy bear just whew, it's incredible. Became
So,
this beautiful.
You collect the teddy bears, and you mentioned 500.
Well, okay, so
And I just want to know,
Yep.
like, the life cycle of the teddy
Sure.
bear.
So we just started this right on a whim. So Joyce planted the seed, and Sandy and I kind of like did more brainstorming, and we ran with it. And we thought, let's set a goal of 500 teddy bears the first year, which was 2000.
Still seems ambitious, but okay.
Right,
Yes.
right. 500 teddy bears. That was 2021.
Okay.
So before you know it, in our office, this mass of teddy bears keeps growing and growing. But the most beautiful thing is when people come in to give a teddy bear, their face would just like light up, right? There'd be little kids walking, to Schoolhouse Ice Cream, and they would put their faces against the windows. And so that first year, we got over 800 teddy bears
Wow.
to give to kids in shelters and hospitals facing major illness or homelessness. and-
Schools as well.
Yeah, we gave them to schools, and this year we got over 1,000
Can you
teddy
believe it?
bears in our office.
Wow.
So it's
How did you still manage to work with 1,000 teddy bears?
Wow.
in
It's a
your
little
office?
distracting. It's a little distracting, and I like to arrange the teddy bears, and they grew into the window, and they would,
Okay.
just take on a life of its own. And we would leave the lights on at night, so that when people came to the little plaza where we are, the teddy bears would greet them.
I love it.
Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's incredible. And what a teddy bear does, it's amazing.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's amazing.
Right? We all slept
when-
with teddy bears. I know
yes.
I did as a kid.
Yep.
That comfort, that sense of
A
peace.
sense of security.
That's right.
And it's an interesting thing. You would think it would be hard to find a home for 1,000 teddy bears, and they were gone in a week.
Wow. So how do you distribute
Okay.
1,000 teddy
Okay,
bears?
before
Yeah, I know we're kind of like
no,
flying all over
no,
the place.
before
but-
everything is organized, I get in touch with all the organizations that will work in the individual families, and they distribute away before we pick them up. So when we pick them up, we don't even pick them up now. They come and pick them up from Lori. So now we don't have to load them up and bring them anywhere. So the majority of them go the Project Hope from the shelter. Paulette came and picked up almost 300, I believe, and to distribute to the homeless. So they came. Tori came with Virginia.
We had
And she brought-
a young lady who's volunteered for a long time, and her mom with us, and she wanted to bring teddy bears to the cancer unit of a hospital for children who were undergoing treatment, and we actually had to package them all in sealed bags so
right.
that
Wow.
we wouldn't inadvertently
Right.
pass along anything. And that was an amazing experience for her. She was beaming, as she handed over.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
And then it was one turtle, a big turtle, and she held the turtle because
Oh,
it
the
was
turtle, yes.
a baby
yes.
that it
The
was
turtle.
born without very sick and had to sleep in his stomach in the hospital, a newborn.
Okay. Like the
So-
neonatal unit.
So then they
type?
put
Okay.
the child on top of the turtle.
Wow.
I have the picture, but we
Who
couldn't,
knew?
you know.
So you accept
so-
other beings other than
We
teddy
do
bears.
not, yes, we do not discriminate. We
Absolutely.
take
No.
any kind of stuffed fluffy critter.
In Waltham, Marine in Waltham, we regularly help a center in Waltham.
We brought some to the Cambridge Closet, which is newly
The
established
Cambridge
Yeah.
Closet.
up at the high school.
Tell me more about that because I
That
just saw
is
like headlines and
incredible.
how did you got? Is it a Helpis thing or is it a somebody else?
nope,
and
nope,
Helpis
nope.
kind of.
Nope. Rosemary
Yep.
D'Souza, I hope I'm saying the name correctly. She's an incredible woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
She got in touch with me
Okay.
that this is what she's working on, and it's going to open, I believe, September that it opened.
Yeah.
Right around September.
Fairly new.
And
It's been around the whole school year.
and I went and I visited the closet.
Okay.
I met with Rosemary. She's an incredible woman that she was able to accomplish this. I am so impressed with this lady.
Wow.
And then she has a whole team. They're amazing. The teachers now volunteers. The children volunteer, and they go in and they sort everything and they name everything. And it's an incredible opportunity to spread kindness. This lady, she's a passionate woman. We met. The closet was empty. Me and her are standing at the end of the closet. The shelves all empty. My God, I think 3 weeks on the road. How many SUVs we went?
Oh.
It was 2 to 3 SUVs every single time.
Wow.
Packed.
Yeah.
So
With
how
the
did-
closet were filled up.
Now that it's filled.
So Rosemary is
Okay.
the person who did the closet. We help in Rosemary.
Okay.
And you connected
Sure.
Rosemary with the Tanner Closet, right?
Right. I told Rosemary about the Tanner Closet in
What's the Tanner Closet?
the Tanner Closet is Ruben.
Oh.
So Miss
okay.
Padrisi
So
is
it's like the equivalent
right.
in
Mrs.
Woburn.
Yes.
Yeah.
High school as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mrs. No, they're not connected, but Miss.
No, but-
we've been helping the Tanner Closet in Ruben for some years now, and that's how I
The
I
little
talked to
network
Susan.
thing. It's like
So
oh,
Mrs.
Woburn
Padrisi
does
was an
this.
incredible woman. I believe Rosemary went and visited the closet.
Okay.
So these women are and just amazing women. They just mean what they say and say what they mean, and you see action. There is no waste of time. But these incredible, both of them, you just want to follow them. You just want to learn. It's like watching them. It's incredible. So I'm very grateful to Rosemary. I'm very grateful to anyone and Mrs. Padrisi for giving us the opportunity to give people the opportunity. There's so many people out there that want to help and they don't know how to. And here we come in to make it simple, easy, and then people to see where it goes.
Okay. So with the Cambridge Closet, is it just available to high school students in need?
Nope, they help other families. So Mrs. Padrisi, what she does,
So she connects the families
No.
with the.
we're not connected with the families.
Okay.
Mrs. Padrisi, she will give us a request. we bring to the high school. We don't interact with families. We're
No, I'm
helping.
just saying she's the connection
Yes.
of
Right.
the families to the
Right.
closet.
So, for example,
So, you need something? Come on over here.
right. But for example, Ms. Padis will say we have a student that had a baby and needs diapers, and needs. We have a student that needs a bicycle because he lost his parent to cancer, and he needs to go to work. Has no way of getting a bicycle. He needs a bicycle, so we bring to Ms. Padris. So through the closet, families get the help also they need. So she gives us a request for the families.
Okay, see,
get
I
the
think
message
that's
from
kind of
her.
what I was trying to figure out is you've supplied this closet and it's an amazing opportunity,
Like,
but I wasn't sure how to ask
well, the closet is a
how it gets
connection.
emptied.
Yeah, the closet. Well, the students go in. Look what happens. The student goes in, and we supply backpacks. They go in. The kids have no, especially the Tana closet. Here, the Cambridge closet is not done yet.
Okay.
But the Tana closet, the kids have no food after school to eat.
Wow. Okay.
So we supply snacks.
Okay.
We supply soups, snacks. The student that in need goes inside,
Okay.
gets a backpack, fills it up,
Okay.
takes it, and water bottles as well, so they can fill up the water bottle if they're sleeping in
Oh,
a
yeah.
car,
Okay.
if they're sleeping in somebody's car. And then they take the backpack so no one knows it's a charity.
Okay.
It's a backpack with food. So it's the dignity, the pride, it's a beautiful thing. The way it's done, it's just incredible.
And I think the kids at Burlington, when we've gone to donate or bring things that people have donated to us, I think the really magical thing is every student in that high school got a tour and was able to kind of reconnect with that spirit of giving, right? It's just not at holiday time. And they were really inspired. So if anyone needs something, they're welcome to the closet.
Okay.
So it's totally for everyone, and I think that's really important.
Right. Okay.
And also, I believe, honestly, doing that and the students go in to help with the closet, they will notice children that they have different shoes, or they don't have shoes, or they don't have something. They'll bring from their own home. I believe this will help also the bulliness.
Absolutely.
Because when you spread kindness, honestly, and you experience kindness and you are kindness, then it's incredible the side effect and how contagious it is.
Wow.
It's a
Okay.
win-win for sure.
Exactly. Any desire or intention to bring the equivalent of Cambridge Closet to the middle school at some point?
Oh no, the Cambridge Closet helps the middle school and the elementary school.
Okay.
So it's for all the schools.
Okay.
They are all connected. So if
Okay.
someone in the elementary school, for example, knows a student is in need of something, they will reach out to the closet. The closet will reach out to us if they need to.
Oh.
And
we
they
would
reach out to the
fulfill that.
families too. The
Okay.
families
I
that.
thought it was like
and
just
for
the high
little
school students
siblings
kind of
too,
wandering
so
by.
that if a high school student had a younger sibling that was in preschool or younger, the closet will assist that child as well. So.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, I'm just a little distracted over there. You do have, we had mentioned earlier the $20,000 way back in 2013, was it, for the fire at Lord
Right.
Byron? And we're talking about the food cards and the gas cards. And yes, people are kind, but do you ever have the opportunity to raise awareness as well as raise funds through fundraisers?
Well, there are different fundraisers done every month by different groups. We have the Thursday group.
Okay, keep going. So Thursdays.
We have different groups that they do it on a monthly basis for us. So a group of the Thursday ladies,
Okay.
every last Thursday of the month, they ask Joyce, what do you need this month? Then I will say we need Urba cards
Okay.
for the Cambridge Closet For the
Okay.
students that they go to school at night, they have no way of transportation to go.
Okay.
So then they take the Uber. So we supply the Ubers every time they need it. So that group does once a month.
Okay.
It picks something different. 1 month they will do baby items. 1 month we'll do gift cards, supermarket, Uber cards. So there are different groups that they do the fundraising for us. Of
Okay.
course, down the road in the future we will we do fundraising through our page.
And we have a big celebration coming
Yep.
up.
Please,
May
will you talk
19th.
about it?
So tell me about that.
Ladies, go for it.
Of course, it's got to be in May. May is the month
May
of
Yes.
kindness.
Of course. And so it's going to be a huge celebration of kindness and also a dance party. So everyone,
Who
get out
does
your
not like a dance
calendars,
party?
right? There's gonna be DJs, things that glow. So everyone's gonna want to come. So tickets are gonna go fast. So we're gonna hopefully get that right out there. It's May 19th at the Legion. Mark your calendars.
Okay.
And that will be a celebration of kindness, of course. We will be honoring some scholarship recipients every year.
Okay.
Helpis gives out a number of scholarships to young people who might not be able to go to college otherwise. Both at Burlington High School, at Woburn High School, with Plummer Youth Promise, which is an agency
foster,
that
isn't it?
serves foster youth,
Okay.
YMCA.
and the Old Colony YMCA.
All right.
And so that's kind of cool. We get
Yeah.
to give them the big check. And some
Oh, I
of the
love this big check,
organizations.
you know, it's great fun.
The big check is so
Okay.
much fun. And our partner organizations will be represented there, and we always like to say thank you to them. So,
Women Aid, they've been helping us for such a long time. Incredible organization. People helping people. They've been helping us for a very long time. I mean, We Care, the newest one, we work together. So we work together with all the organizations, the local organizations.
Again,
And-
that networking.
And it's incredible. Also, we receive a lot of help from outside, from the state, Chicago, New
Really?
York, California, Philadelphia.
So wait a minute, this brings up a whole new bunch of questions because
for it.
you're based in Burlington.
Yeah, but kindness, though, it's
Well, kindness is everywhere, and I know you have a web, but you know, how far does that web reach? Because it seems like a lot of your partnering organizations are within, or not your partnering organizations, the people you help. My understanding is it seems to be in the greater
Can you read
Burlington,
this, but not
Boston,
the name?
Boston,
okay?
yes,
area.
yes.
Can you please read
So,
this, not the name?
If Chicago
To say
or
manager.
LA are
footprint.
contributing
People helping people.
to this organization,
Just the name, okay? Not the name.
how do they? Are they eventually
I
going to
can
want?
answer this
Yeah,
a little
I'm
bit.
just like,
It
So
doesn't show on
I,
the camera.
I'll read a letter to you.
An example.
okay,
not in
yes,
the
read
camera.
it to me, please.
Dear Joyce, I thought you would like to know that after the NBC News program, the Burlington Food Pantry received a call from a man from Chicago who had seen the segment and is sending a donation in honor of your dedication to help families who are unemployed and who need help with food to keep their families and their children fed and healthy. Thank you for your continued support.
Wow.
This-
Okay, I think I'm going to cry.
And this came from the manager at the People Helping People.
wow.
So one example.
We put a post up for a young man who was in foster care, who needed shoes, who did not have any shoes, and his feet were size 17.
Okay, can
17.
I,
17.
uh,
So guess who reached out?
oh my God, you're gonna believe, I was just gonna ask to tell that story. Okay, you read my mind.
Why am I
woman.
thinking
often.
like
It's big.
Michael
Okay.
It's
Jordan
big.
or
It's big.
something?
You got it.
What?
So here we go.
Okay. Well,
Oh my-
I went to the
this
the
Sanders
Basketball Hall of Fame, and
Cindy
Shaquille O'Neal
Freeman.
has
The
like size
NBA.
22.
Yep.
Okay, check
Okay,
this
tell
out.
me
okay,
the story.
So
Tell me the
it was size 17. It was no way you can go to the stores and buy it. There was no way.
Kohl's
this
didn't
is
have
Finally,
it.
off the
we were
shelf.
able to find one. I believe Luann, who does the shopping, a pair of 17. Oh my God! When they arrived at the house, I was going to pay whatever the price was to get this kid the shoes. That means this boy never had shoes because no one had his size. So the shoes come to my house. the Amazon. I picked the box up and hold it. I took the shoes out. They were from here to here. So I'm holding, and a picture, I asked to have a picture taken like that. We posted it on the Facebook, okay? On the Facebook.
Yeah.
I received a private message on my messenger on the Facebook, and it was a gentleman who does the shoes for the NBA players. Customize the shoes. And he said, we saw a picture that in a story, story makes history, stories make
Wow.
history. The story of the boy, the foster care boy that needs the shoes. We would like to send him also boots and good shoes. Well, what do you know?
Now, wait, is this kid possibly done growing?
We hope so.
Probably
We hope
not.
so.
You know, if he's like 11
there an
years
18?
old. You know.
So then
So you
I
get
said,
boots, shoes, sneakers.
but listen, this beautiful story. So then I send my phone number, and we talk on the phone, and we talk on the phone pretty much almost every week.
Yep.
What a beautiful gentleman. So what he did, he got the NBA players, and they send us, how many pairs they sent? Each player sent a pair,
Yeah.
and they said,
Yeah.
they wrote the name on the box. So of course I sent the sneakers with the box, and then I told them the next time that they're going to do that, if they can write their names on the sneakers.
Yeah, because boxes take up a lot of room.
So, so that was
Oh.
incredible.
God.
Also, another thing that I would like to, Kate, maybe.
Okay,
you
hopefully
know,
this kid
Yeah.
is now a basketball fan if he wasn't already.
I think
Okay.
you have to be if your feet are size 17. But another example is our state senator, Cynthia Friedman. She actually collected from 41 state senators donations this year.
It's
and
the second
donated
time,
to
yeah.
Helpis. And and this is the second year she's done that,
That's incredible.
which is
The
phenomenal.
whole Senate. And I said, why? Why Helpis? How beautiful is that?
Why not?
So she donated. She's an incredible lady.
So guess who's telling Joyce no now?
But isn't it amazing how it moves? And quickly, I would like to say how we get the help from so many. I actually have traveled to Australia. We get the name Helpis. The law is Australia, China, and a whole article was written in Chinese in China. And
Wow.
Yep.
So are there going to be Helpis branches like worldwide? pretty
well,
soon?
kindness people
That's the
can just
plan.
little fires that they, you know.
Well, no, I know people could be kind, but this is like kind on steroids.
I know, right?
Well,
You
I
know,
think the
closets
power of
and-
kindness moves hearts. It moves minds. It changes lives.
So we punish everybody with, you know, the law of kindness, and they obey the law. Punish me, you know. And you know what? So many acts of kindness you do. What a beautiful thing.
That is
What a beautiful thing. It's contagious and it's incredible. A lot of the help that we get from other states is from young kids that we helped. They
Wow.
grew up to go to college. They are
Well, yeah, you've been around
they
for
are everywhere, and now when they see
14
the
years
need,
now? Wow.
no, they are like, no, they were like 5 years, now they're in college. A lot of them are finishing college. So now when they see the request, they send specially for the high school, and then I get an envelope with a suit inside. That came from a college student. We got a request to help a student in New York in college where she was raped, and she had no food. You remember when we got together, it was winter time, and Wendy got involved in it.
Yeah.
Wendy Murphy got involved in it. Maybe quickly you can talk about the
Well,
lawyers.
actually, not even quickly. We are out of time.
Wow. Time flies when you're having fun.
I know, when you're
Well-
kind.
So, yes,
So I do want to thank you all, and Chris, who's hopefully somewhere in the back still. Thank you guys so much for coming. And just really quickly, Lori, remind us of that dance party again.
So there's going to be a dance party May 19th. Mark your calendars. Bring your dancing shoes. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to spread amazing kindness, and we hope to see you there at the Legion.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. And I also want to thank everyone at home for, well, you guys didn't tune in, you were here. I do want to thank everyone at home for tuning in.
Thank you.
And I hope you are inspired to obey Joyce's law and be kind, not just in May, but it's April. Get yourself ready and just keep that momentum going. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great night, and I'll see you around town.